Alright, so welcome for today's webinar on our new video feature. My name is Teresa Irving, a customer advocate here with OWL, and I'm dedicated to supporting you with your general inquiries about OWL, providing interactive training when needed, and ensuring you're getting the most out of your OWL experience. I want to thank you all for taking the time to attend today's webinar. Our long-awaited video therapy feature has now been released, and we want to make sure you know how to get the most out of it. Our in-house streamlined video option helps to empower users to connect virtually with their clients in a way that's convenient, professional, and secure. Today we're going to be reviewing video together and wrap up the session with a brief Q&A period at the end. The session will be approximately 30 minutes long, and please note that we are recording today's session so we can send a copy to everyone afterwards. You will be muted for the duration of today's webinar, but please note there is a chat feature in GoToMeeting where our customer advocates are available to answer any of your questions through the session. If you can't stay for the Q&A, please always feel free to email us at support@owlpractice.ca with any follow-up questions you might have, as our team is always happy to help. Today's agenda is covering our overview of the video feature, the initial setup, how to book a video session, hosting your video session, the client experience, and the Q&A session at the end. OWL's video therapy feature allows clinics to connect with their clients seamlessly for their sessions in a secure online setting. The video therapy feature has been built fully in-house and does not rely on any third-party integrations or connections, ensuring total privacy and security for all users. We use our client portal to ensure that all hosted sessions can be secure and compliant, requiring that clients log in before connecting. We built our video feature with the requirements of Canadian mental health practitioners in mind, and it's crucial that these sessions maintain their privacy and are only accessible to the client. Please note that we're also currently offering this feature with all Lite Plus, Premium, and Group Plus plans for no additional charge until July 31st, giving you all a chance to test it out and hopefully helping you connect for your sessions. Here are some quick notes to keep in mind as you get started with OWL's video therapy. To use OWL's video therapy feature, you must be on a Lite Plus, Premium, or Group Plus plan. This feature is not offered on Lite or standard solo plans, or on standard group plans, as they do not offer the client portal, which is required for video to work. Video sessions can be hosted and attended on a variety of devices, including desktop computers, laptops, tablets, and a variety of mobile smartphones. All participants must have access to our Wi-Fi or cellular data on the device they wish to use for their sessions. It's recommended that all participants use devices with up-to-date operating systems and browsers for the best possible experience. It's important to know that if the operating system or browser your device is using is out of date or no longer supported, such as Windows XP or Internet Explorer 7, it will not be compatible with video sessions. Apple does not permit webcam access when using Google Chrome on Apple mobile devices, so if you are trying to connect on Google Chrome on your iPhone or iPad, the webcam function will not work, so we do suggest for these users that on Apple mobile devices, use Safari as your browser for these sessions. All right, we're going to head into OWL now to explore the new video feature in a little more depth. So some initial setup information about your video therapy. It is important to note that clients must have access to a client portal account with your clinic in order to use the video therapy feature and connect to their scheduled video sessions. You can either do this by creating an account for them and sending them the login credentials externally, or you can direct them to the client portal site where they can create an account for themselves. If you want to set a client up with their account for them, You can go into your client's profile. We'll use Robert Smith here for our example, and move into their Contact and Clinical Account Details tab. Here you'll notice the Client Portal Settings tab. You'll notice this is not currently set up for Robert. If I click Edit, I can go ahead and set up his Client Portal settings by just entering the email address I'd like to associate with Robert, whichever email he usually uses, and a password to get him started. Once I've saved this information, Robert will then be able to log in with no problem using those credentials at any time. Once logged in for the first time, Robert could then also reset their password to enter the password they'd like to use going forward. Alternatively, if the client does create their own account on your client portal site, you'll find them in the Clients under the Prospects tab. In the Prospects tab, you'll see any new accounts that have come through that are waiting for your acceptance. We see Daryl here. We have the option to either create Daryl as a brand new client profile or associate him with an existing profile if I know I already have him in my account. As soon as this is done, just like the other option, the client will then be able to log in as usual and access their video sessions. When you have the client portal enabled and you choose to offer online booking as well, you now also have the option to make any of the services you offer at your clinic appear as video sessions to your clients. To ensure your services are bookable as video sessions through Client Portal, you'll need to go to your Settings, Services and Fees. Here you can select a service and click Edit to find the drop-down for Bookable as Video. You can either set this to have not a video session, offered as a video session, or a video-only type session. Once you've made your selection, be sure to save your changes. And when your clients now visit your online booking page, those services will have a video icon next to them, so the client knows they can choose to book that as a service for video. To ensure that your clients get their links to the video sessions, please be sure you have an email address on file for them in their client profile and that they've been opted into either appointment confirmation emails or appointment reminders. Even if your client does not receive those messages for any reason, they are still able to log into this portal and go to their My Account page to find the Join button here as well. If you want to book a video session for one of your clients, you can head to your Calendar tab anytime and go ahead and book a new session as you normally would. Here we can go ahead and type a client's name and choose from our available services. If your account has video sessions available, you'll notice this video session toggle where you can decide if this session will be a video session or a non-video session. Once we create that session, you'll also notice that video sessions are easy to distinguish by the video icon within the calendar. Once you're ready to get your video session started, you can click on your session in the calendar and see the Join Video Call button. It's important to note that there is a specific window for joining your session. You and your clients will be able to enter the session up to 30 minutes before the start time, and the Join button remains active for up to 30 minutes after the session end time as well, in case either of you is running late. When we click this Join Now button, you'll see that it opens in a new tab in your browser. And if it's your first time using the video therapy tool, your browser most likely will prompt you to grant access to your webcam. You can allow access to the webcam, and it will then be connected for your session for your call. If you used the video feature previously on the same device, your webcam should open automatically for every session going forward based on the permission you've granted. When you first click the link to join the session, you'll be brought to a page to confirm your access and see a preview of how you and your name will appear to other attendees. If your webcam did not open automatically, you'll see an avatar in place where your camera preview would be. If your webcam has opened automatically, or after you grant access to the webcam, you'd see a preview of yourself on camera right here. If you were never prompted to grant access, you can look to the URL bar at the top of your screen for this video icon. Here you should be able to give access to your camera as needed, and then refresh the page to ensure your camera works. I'm going to do a quick demonstration of this webcam feature by refreshing now, just to show you what that might look like. All right, before you finally enter the session, you're also prompted to confirm your name, as you can see here. The name displayed is defaulted to show your first and last name and the title from your therapist profile, but you can make any edits if you need to. We can now go ahead and begin our session. You notice when you enter the session, you'll see yourself in the top left here on the screen, and the call actions panel at the bottom center of the screen, and the attendees panel in the upper right-hand side of the screen as well. The attendees control panel allows you to see who's joined the session and give the clinician hosting the session the ability to admit clients. When clients join a video session, they are automatically placed into a virtual waiting room until you are able to admit them. You have complete control over who joins your session and when they're admitted, ensuring the session is secure and private. Attendees are grouped in this panel as either therapists or as clients. At the top as well, you're able to see the 3 different attendee status icons and the number of attendees in each category. Yellow with the clock icon means that these clients are currently in the virtual waiting room, waiting for your session to begin or for you to admit them. The green icon means that those clients have already been admitted to the session, and you should see them online with the session. The gray with slash through icon means that those clients have not yet joined the session or have already been dismissed. When you have clients in the virtual waiting room, the Start Session button allows you to accept all currently waitlisted clients into your session. Alternatively, if you only want to allow one client in at a time, you'll notice to the right of this waiting client, I can admit them specifically one by one, which is a great option if you're doing couple or family sessions and want to start by having a private conversation first. Once the client has entered the session, you'll also have the option to dismiss any attendees at your discretion. For any clients that have been admitted to the session, you'll see the Dismiss from Session option, where you used to see this Admit to Session. We're going to go ahead and start the session, accepting Kayla in from the wait room. When the client's admitted, you'll see all the clients on screen, as well as yourself on the left. The client who joined is now enlarged in the middle, and you'll notice the client's name at the bottom of their display as well. Here you'll notice the connection indicator to the right of their name. This indicator lets both of you know how good their connection is based on their internet. The same internet connection indicator appears to the right of your name to show your connection as well. If there are any issues with the connectivity during the session, both of you can quickly identify which party has the weaker internet connection, so that you can troubleshoot accordingly. If either of you has your microphone muted, as Kayla does here, you'll be able to see that icon as well. If there are multiple attendees attending your session, and you want to be the only one broadcasting audio, there's also an option to mute all clients. The Actions panel in the bottom also allows you or your client to mute yourself, turn off your webcam, hide your inset screen display from the view, or leave the session. During the call, if either you or your client would like to focus your attention solely on the other party, you can hide the display of yourself to help you focus and not look at yourself as a distraction. To end a video session, you can click the End Session option, or you can leave the session using the red button here. If anyone tries to rejoin a session after it's been ended, they'll see a screen confirming that the session is already over. If you remove yourself from the session, your client will get a notification that you've done so as well. Once the session is over or you've left the session, you'll also be prompted to fill out a quick survey just to let us know what the quality of your call was, which we really value your feedback, so please do feel free to fill this out when you can. For the client's end of the experience, again, it is important to note that the clients must have their client portal account with your clinic in order to access those video therapy features. When you schedule a video session for the client, they receive their usual email confirmation or reminders with details of the session and a link to the client portal so they can find that join button. Once logged into the account by going to the My Account section, they can see all of their scheduled appointments, see which are video sessions, and again find that join button when it is activated. Very similar to how it worked on your end, clicking the join button will take the client in to start the session, where they will confirm their webcam and their audio, and as well as decide their name that they want displayed. Clients will see all the same options to mute themselves, hide their video, or leave the session as well, but clients do not see the Attendees Access panel, as that panel is only available to the hosting clinician. All right, I want to thank everyone again for taking the time out to come for today's webinar. I hope that this session's been helpful and informative for you, but please note we also do have a FAQ page on the new video feature to help you familiarize yourselves further. If you have any questions or feedback, as always, you can email us at support@owlpractice.ca, where we're happy to assist you one-on-one. For anyone who is interested, you can stay on the line as we will be starting the Q&A portion of the webinar now. I'll just be addressing any questions you've left for me in the GoToMeeting chat. Maria asked, can I disable the client's ability to schedule their own appointments? Maria, that's a really great question, and it is something we hear quite frequently, as a lot of the times, even if you are interested in Client Portal, you might not want to use online booking specifically. What we've done is we've added an option for our Client Portal users in Settings, Client Portal, to fully disable online booking altogether if you don't want your clients to be able to make any of their own appointments that way. This will hide that page entirely and prevent any of those bookings from coming through. We are also seeing a lot of questions regarding group therapy options. Right now, our offering is for individual sessions, couple sessions, and family sessions. As long as the clients are linked together using the circle of care, those can be set up on your end. But please note that group sessions where the clients are not linked together in any way are not currently supported, though it is something we really hope to add into a future update. All right, we've also had questions about how much the cost will be after July 31st. So as we mentioned right now, this is completely free to all Light Plus, Premium, and Group Plus users until July 31st of this year. But as this is a new feature, we will be working over the next 8 weeks to understand the usage and the associated costs. So as though we can't provide a firm price just yet, so soon after launching, our team is performing a detailed cost analysis, and we hope to determine a most reasonable price for our users as soon as we can, and we'll let you know as soon as that's been determined. All right, someone also asked about asking for consent from their users before connecting for their first session. Another great feature that comes with the client portal is the option to create intake and consent forms that you can customize to your needs and send out to your clients anytime. So if you need to create a consent form regarding video sessions, you can always do it through that platform, send it directly to your clients to securely fill out on the client portal, and allow them to submit it back to you before you start your first video session. We've also had some questions here about additional features such as screen sharing. Please note that this is just our first initial offering of our video feature, and we are committed to giving our users the best possible service, so we're always open to adding new features as needed. We are planning on expanding our initial video offering by adding new features. Things like screen sharing are high on our priority list of things to add soon, as well as other options like video chat and therapist-to-therapist video sessions as well. All right, I've also had some questions around recording video sessions. And again, that is a request we've had. We do want to give therapists the option sometime in a future update to be able to record those sessions if they need to. But we will not be extending that to the client's end, as I had a question about that as well. The clients would not be the ones recording. It would be you recording the session and storing that through OWL. All right, we've also had questions in addition to screen sharing of whiteboard where you can actually draw on the screen as well. Again, that is something we've heard requests for, and we really are excited to add more and more features, but at the time being, it's not something we have available right now. Right, I want to thank everyone as well for all your great questions. I'm doing my best to keep up with them, so please do continue to type out any questions you have. I'll do my best to get to as many as I can. All Alright, Larry asked as well, can you use video without allowing clients to book appointments? Yes, Larry, so that's the option I mentioned here as well, where you can fully disable online booking if you don't want that to be an option, but you still want to use all the other great client portal features, such as video sessions, secure messaging, and intake and consent forms. Maria asked if I can explain again how the client accesses the client portal. Absolutely, Maria. So when you first set up your client portal, you'll notice in this client portal tab, you have some quick links available here to your home page, to the secure messaging page, or if you enable booking, straight to the Book Now page as well. You can share this publicly if you'd like on your personal website or business website, or it's something you can also send out to clients as needed. And once they receive that link, you can recommend they bookmark it so they have access all the time. Another really convenient option is the option to include that link in all of your emails that come through OWL. So for example, when you send out an invoice or a receipt, when they get those reminder emails, anything else that comes through OWL system to that client, you can include a link to the client portal so they have a quick, convenient button they can access anytime as well. Jean asked if we could go over how to send a blurb about to all the clients about availability of video instead of individually. So Jean, right now, there's no direct way to send a mass message out through OWL directly, but what we do recommend in this case, if you want to send a mass email, for example, to all of your client base, is to go into your dashboard and into the Data Export tab. Here you could download your client export, which contains a column with all of your clients' email addresses you have on file. So you can copy that list and paste it into the BCC field of a new email from whichever email client you tend to use, and be able to send a mass message out to everyone to let them know any updates you'd like. All right, we've had some questions around security and encryption as well. And I wanted to remind everyone that as our video feature was built entirely in-house, you can expect the same level of security as you do with everything else you use in OWL. We have multiple safeguards to ensure your connection is secure and private, as we run this off of our servers that we own and operate, and your communications with those servers is always encrypted. This meets our stringent security and compliance requirements for all mental health practitioners in Canada. Bonnie asked, can I minimize the video screen during an appointment to access my OWL schedule and other files on my computer? Absolutely, Bonnie. The video won't be interrupted if you minimize that window. Just make sure not to close it. If you want to minimize it to do other things, like maybe write up some notes or review some information, you're more than welcome to do so, and it shouldn't impact your connection. All right, if anyone else still has questions, please do feel free to chat them in the GoToMeeting chat now. Or, as always, email us at support@owlpractice.ca and we'd be happy to help you out that way as well. Earl asked if we recommend using a professional microphone and camera. And Earl, that's really to your preference. We do support a wide variety of different devices, so you can connect on your phone, on your laptop, whatever is most convenient for yourself and for your client at this time. The better and more up-to-date your device is, your webcam is, your microphone is, the better quality you might expect. But even if someone has an older device or it's a little slower, we make sure to optimize the experience to provide the best possible and most stable connection. Nancy asked what were the operating systems that won't support video. We mentioned Windows XP just as an example of a very out-to-date system that most things won't support anymore. But typically, most people will be on devices and browsers that are generally workable. Just sometimes another reminder is to always keep them up to date, as those updates are very important to optimize the quality as well. Marisa asked if we can show again how to set a client up with a password. Yeah, absolutely. From your end, if you want to give the password to the client and save them from having to create their own account, you would simply need to go to their client profile within your OWL account, go to their Contact and Clinical tab, and in their account details here, you'll see that Client Portal Settings section, and that's where you can enter their email and password as their new credentials to log in. Daniel had a really great suggestion I'll share as well. If you don't have a way to conveniently give the client the password that you've entered for them, instead you can have them go to the sign-in page and click the Forgot My Password prompt instead. This will send them a reset to the email address you'd entered for them, so they can reset their password before even using the one that you'd set for them. Right, we've also had some questions surrounding the invitations for client sessions. When the client clicks to join their session, if they're not already logged in, it will prompt them to sign in before they can access the session. If they don't have anything to sign in with, they can either create a new account or they can contact you and ask if there's a way for you to connect them instead. All right, if there are still more questions, or if I missed your question by mistake, please do retype it in the chat. I do want to address as many questions as I can today. Just as a reminder as well, while I wait for some more questions to come in, there is a great FAQ section on the video feature, which you can find on our general FAQ page. under the video therapy category. Daniel asked if we can add people from the circle of care who aren't also clients to the video sessions. So right now, because the client portal is a requirement and each client would need to be able to log in to access the session, your general external contacts won't have the same access as the linked account, as they won't actually have login credentials to get to that client portal. Earl asks if a group can be connected as a circle of care. And the reason we don't typically recommend this is that those clients aren't actually connected in any way, and we wouldn't want to see any of their information together. If, for example, you were to book a family or couple sessions and both names or multiple names appear as attendees on those financial documents, it's not something you'd want to set up for strangers or people who aren't connected in that way, like most group sessions are set up. All right, we also had a question about preferred browsers. And it really is up to the client to choose what is best for them and what is most convenient, but we do tend to find the best experience is on Chrome. Chrome just runs a little better with video type sessions and tends to be a little faster. However, as mentioned at the beginning, specifically to Apple mobile devices like iPads or iPhones, Google Chrome will not work on those sessions, so it's recommended that those clients use Safari instead if they're using their iPad or iPhone. Heather asked, the client's not in the waiting room until they join the session, correct? That's exactly right, Heather. They do have to actually connect to the session before they're placed in that waiting room, and then they'll remain in that waiting room until you admit them to the session or start the session for all people in the waiting room. Laura asked if I can go over when the client receives their video link. So again, there are multiple ways to make sure your client has access to that link. If they're set up with email reminders or email confirmations, they'll receive it that way. Or in your Settings Client Portal tab, you can actually choose to have that link available on all communications through OWL, using this setting here to include link to client portal in emails.
Oh.
I was asked to show an example of what the client login looks like as well, and I'm happy to review that too. If I sign out of the account I'm currently in, you'll see the option to either sign in if I have an existing account, or create a new account as well. So if you sign in, you can enter your email and your password, or the client would be doing so, and then they can sign in that way to access their My Account tab and access their video sessions. All right, if there are any last questions, I'm happy to accept those for a few more minutes. And then again, when the session is over, if you do still have questions, we're always happy to help you by email at support@owlpractice.ca or we can even schedule a support call to help you go over things in a little more depth if you find yourself getting stuck. All right, we had a question as well about what that page looks like for the clients when they're looking for their sessions in their My Account tab. As you can see here, they can see their next session here in the top right, and a list of all their previous sessions on the left-hand side as well. I want to thank you all again for taking the time to connect with us for this webinar of video. We're so happy to finally be able to get this out to everyone, and we hope you've all been enjoying using it so far. As always, if you do have questions about video or about anything else in OWL, please do reach out to support@owlpractice.ca, as we're always happy to help you out. All right, if that's all the questions for today, I'm going to go ahead and end the session. So please do reach out with your questions, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And just as a reminder as well, this video was recorded, so we will be sending a copy of this to all attendees after the session. All right, thank you all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.